Hello friends, my name is Iti Singhal. I work as a senior associate with L&N Partners Law Office. I work into the general corporate team and by qualification I am a law graduate as well as a company secretary. First of all, I'd like to thank Vaishnavi and the entire Legal Corner team for providing me this opportunity to interact with all. In this present video, I'd like to discuss few aspects of how a company secretary qualification can provide you an edge, particularly if your area of interest is corporate law, and otherwise what sort of responsibilities does a general corporate lawyer have to perform into their day-to-day professional life. So to begin with, let me tell you what sort of provisions you have to focus on as a corporate lawyer. First comes the Companies Act. Companies Act is the mother law and which I believe is a must do for all. Companies Act is applicable on all sort of companies, whether you are listed company, unlisted company, a Section 8 company which is a non-profit organization, or whether you are a one-person company. Companies Act is applicable on all. Then comes Foreign Exchange Management Act, which is abbreviated as FEMA. FEMA consists of many laws, but personally speaking, the laws which you should focus on is the FEMA non-debt regulations and FEMA debt regulations. The first one regulates the flow of investments in the form of share capital into an Indian company, and the second one regulates the borrowings. So when an Indian company is thinking of borrowings from outside India, then FEMA debt regulations comes into picture. Apart from that, there are other FEMA provisions like FEMA import-export regulations, FEMA guarantees regulations. All these are event-based regulations and you would have to focus on these as well as and when the client query comes. Then comes SEBI laws. Now, SEBI laws again comprises of many laws. But the principal regulations on which you should focus would be SEBI LODR regulations, and then SEBI takeover regulations and SEBI prohibition on insider trading regulations. So see, talking about the edge which a CS gets, firstly all the laws which I have talked earlier, these all are taught at length as part of CS curriculum. Additionally, you are supposed to undergo 15 months training. This training you may do either with a company or you may do it with a consultancy firm. Consultancy firm may be either a Big Four or it may be a chartered accountancy firm who have a separate corporate advisory division. I personally have worked for a CA firm before joining a law firm, or it may be a practicing company secretary's firm. So whichever is the organization, I assure you the practical insights which you get to learn as a CS trainee, they help you very much when you join a law firm. Essentially, you get to learn how to read the balance sheet. So, balance sheet depicts the financial transactions which have undertaken in a company in last 1 year. You understand the transactions, then you understand whether these transactions were undertaken in compliance of the law or not. This would help you in many ways. So, for example, this would help you in due diligences when you are doing due diligence for a target entity. It would help you, for example, your client poses a query whether the financial health of a company meets certain parameters or not which are required under law. It would help you even there. So certainly CS plus law is a win-win. So speaking of internship in general corporate team, see, seldomly it would happen that your consuls would ask you to go through a particular paper. Most of the time they would give you some research work. Now purpose of research may be two. First, either the subject or the topic is new to them and they want you to go through the provisions to let them know what all is there in the law. For this purpose, what I would suggest is you can start with a simple Google search, note down the regulation number or the section number, and then read that regulation number or section number from the principal act or the principal regulations itself, so that you gain that confidence that what you read in a particular article, that was correct, and there is nothing else which is left out. So you would be ready for any counter questions which your consuls would be having. Plus it gives you that confidence and help you get more insight into that particular law. So the second purpose of your research may be that your counsel is very well aware of what is written in the provisions, and they want you to dig some case laws or precedents in order to use that in a matter or advice which they want to give to their client. For this purpose, you can again start with a simple Google search to get an understanding of the legal provision, and particularly to understand the keywords which you need to type in order to sort the relevant case laws. One more thing which I'd like to point out is that your response time should be less. It should not happen that your counsel has requested you to do something in morning and you approach them at the end of the day and say that I tried looking for it but I wasn't able to find anything. Rather, what you should do is, after 2 hours or 3 hours of your research, you should approach your counsel and let them know that you have read this, and despite of that, you were not able to find anything concrete. So the counsel would be better able to appreciate what all you have read, and then they would be able to give a proper direction to your research. So I'd like to stop myself here. I would like to thank Legal Corner team once again for providing this platform. I hope the experiences which I shared, you will find them useful, and they would help you to make your choices and give you some more clarity of thought when you are making choices in your professional life.